Onimusha, the franchise I love and been playing since my childhood. I'm intrigued to see how these games work internally, so I reverse engineered Onimusha 2 a bit to see what's going on in the process when you play, and made some gameplay altering modifications to perhaps make the game a bit easier or harder. And it went like this. The first thing I like to do when reverse engineering is to just pop the exe file in Ghidra and have a look around. It's this tool made by some small American organization to decompile and reverse programs. After skimming through, I see pretty much nothing of use and only a few functions. This indicates that the executable is packed somehow. Let's take a look at the store page if I could get some info on that. Yeah, they seem to have added something called Enigma Protector. Whatever makes them sleep their nights better, I guess. But the game needs to unpack itself for you to be able to play it, so this means to analyze it properly I need to dump it in its running state using something like Skilla. After dumping and plugging it in Ghidra, I can see the game's code. Perfect. Time for some dynamic analysis. How about making a soul multiplier? First I need to find the address that holds the soul value, and then I have to look at what writes to it when absorbing some souls. There, that's the correct address. Now let's look at what writes to it. And it takes me to this function. Let's take a look at it in Ghidra. This is the line that writes to the soul's value, and it seems to be coming from the third parameter of the function. So I can just hook the function in my DLL and modify it. Let's multiply it by 100. And when I inject it, the game crashes. Of course. So after looking into it, I found why. The game hooks virtual protect function that I'm using in my hooking implementation. It blocks any calls trying to use it on the game's memory. But I figured out if I replace the bytes with original ones that they should be, my hook works perfectly. Yeah, that's definitely getting multiplied by 100 somewhere. How about something a little bit more visual, like modifying the size and value of enemy gold drops. First I'm going to look at what writes to my health gold value. This line here is what's responsible for writing to my gold, but I'm not interested in that for this task. Instead I want to go deeper and see what function calls this function, and maybe I'll find something that I want. Looking at the function in Ghidra, we have something similar to the soul function. The gold gets set here, and it gets the value from second param of the function. Cross-referencing the function to see where it gets called takes me to this monstrosity. But after looking at this function for a while, this is what I want to hook, I think, to get my desired results. So after further investigating what the params are and what they do for this function, I realized I need to modify the third param, as it holds all kinds of info about the dropped item, such as value and model scale. So I came up with this. Pretty neat. Now only if it works. Nice, the model scale seems to work. And the value works also. Nice! This was just a small showcase to show it's not so hard to make something simple and possibly inspire someone. Or maybe it is hard. Go and find out. We need some modders in Onimusha. Good luck.